When Dricus du Plessis lost, South Africa showed the world a different face. The momentary illusion of togetherness was shattered, replaced by an avalanche of racial hate, mocking laughter, and open threats against him simply because of his skin color. This was not about sport. It was about identity, and it revealed a truth the world must no longer ignore. Overnight, Du Plessis transformed from our champion to the colonizer. This was not friendly banter between South African rival supporters. The painful truth is this: white South Africans are at best tolerated when useful. In this case, despised and disowned. In a flood of unfiltered posts, the world saw what white South Africans face daily: hostility, rejection, and hatred. The Cape of Good Hope will be different. I'm the newly appointed candidate for Ward 15 in Somerset West for LGE 2026 for Cape Exit. And you are tuned in to In the Voting Booth. So ons gesels 'n bietjie politiek, ons gesels 'n bietjie LGE, so local government elections, en ek gee vir jou 'n bietjie terugvoer rondom dit, ook rondom my voorbereiding vir LGE 26 vir wijk 15. So dit is my opening daar op TikTok. And I said, if I say there was an avalanche of hatred spewed at Dricus du Plessis, I'm not talking about tens. I'm not talking about hundreds. There are thousands of comments. But I also saw this a while ago when Olympian swimmer Roland Schoeman had something to say. And I remember Jacob Pieterse, the headmaster or principal at Bergview Primary School, that was, without any evidence, accused of raping a young black girl. In fact, he had to flee his house because of all the death threats. In the Cape of Good Hope, resident of Ward 15 Somerset West, we will honor and respect our Olympians, whether they are white, black, colored, or Indian. When a sportsman or a sportswoman have the Cape of Good Hope flag draped around his or her shoulders, we will salute them. If you are here with a different point of view, welcome. Let's reason. If you are here to spew hate, like I've just seen with Dricus, well, you've just proven my point. You see, black men, ANC voter, ANC supporter, ANC leader, you've held the purse of this country for the last 31 years. So I need to ask you, what did you do with this money? For me, it's all about education. Something you and your government knows nothing about. Let me ask you, how many universities did you build in these 31 years of democracy? Since 1994, to educate the masses. You've built 2 universities since 1994. Saul Plaatje University, SPU, in Kimberley in the Northern Cape, and University of Mpumalanga in Mbombela. That was in 2014. So it's already 12 years later. 2 is not enough. Saul Plaatjes can accommodate 5,923 students. UMP can accommodate 11,885 students. Now listen, for 2023 academic year, UMP received 210,000 applications, but only had the capacity to accept 2,817 new year or first year students. ANC voter, you're going to die in your shack. And your children that was born in that shack is also going to die in that shack. And that's the sad reality here. Because without world-class education, we are doomed. Because we're not competing against Zimbabwe or Namibia. It's now a world economy where we compete against. Now, even with all this hostility and hate towards white South Africans or white Afrikaners, how many did they build since 1994 without the purse? 3. We've built Soltech in 2007. We've built academia in 2011. We've built a second academia, and now we've just started building a third academia campus. This one just outside Pretoria, to the tune of 3.5 billion rand. I think that's what you've spent on cleaning classrooms during COVID, remember? The new campus alone will accommodate 5,000 full-time undergraduate students and 1,500 postgraduate students in Afrikaans vir Afrikaans. As I've said in my previous videos, we will meet force with force based on that video that we saw from Frans Cronje. What do you do with the ANC voter, the ANC supporter, the ANC leader, the ANC itself? You meet force with force. You put the knife and you aim for the heart, and you don't stop before you've hit the bone or before you've hit the heart. ANC voter, if you're still going to vote ANC in 2026, you're an accomplice in the looting of this country. Not only for you, but the generation after you and the generation after that as well. You've stolen their future. So we need 2 million people in the Western Cape to support our aim to push for a referendum. Now, I think there's just under 1 million that has already signed up. And then we can decide. And if 2 million people say it's time for the Cape of Good Hope, it's time for secession, then we can do that. Now, resident in the Western Cape, if you are under the illusion that the ANC is not controlling the Western Cape, maybe not in the ballot box, but budget-wise, go and have a look. Our GDP versus budget allocation. What we generate as a GDP in the Western Cape and what we get back from national government or national treasury. Now, I follow Jordan B. Peterson. He's a clever man. In fact, I will consider him one of my mentors. And here's what he's taught me. If your partner does something once, it might be chance. Twice, maybe still coincidence. But if it happens a third time, it's intentional or at least a stable part of their behavior. This is the moment you should confront it openly and honestly. ANC voter, ANC supporter, ANC leader, ANC. This is now a stable part of your behavior. Hate spewing, anti-white, racism. And that is why I'm speaking up today. I made a promise as part of my campaign that I will do everything in my power to assist with the demise of the ANC leader, the ANC voter, and the ANC as a party. My name is Paul Hubert. I am the candidate for Ward 15, Somerset West, for Cape Exit Party in LGE 2026.